hell.
All right, and so now apparently the Swifties are upset with Travis Kelce because he appeared to like a tweet that was pro Donald Trump. So, for anyone who does not know about this particular story, wasn't really something that went insanely viral, but it did serve up the algorithm because of the amount of people commenting on it. So apparently, Sage Steele, who is a conservative in the media, used to work for ESPN. She's no longer at ESPN anymore. I think largely because she is conservative. She's now doing her own thing. I think she has like her own show. But she posted something on Twitter with her shaking hands with Donald Trump at a UFC event, and Travis Kelce liked the tweet. And that got a bunch of people with memes and gifs and talking about how Travis Kelce is apparently a MAGA supporter. So this article here says Travis Kelce has Swifties up in arms after liking pro Donald Trump post on Instagram. Travis Kelce is someone who has become extremely famous over the last decade thanks to his skills on the football field. However, his fame has truly skyrocketed over the past year thanks to his relationship with Taylor Swift. Overall, this is a relationship that was sprung up at the start of the NFL season. Some felt like it could prove to be a distraction for Kelce. In the end, it was actually a good luck charm as the Chiefs went on to win their second Super Bowl in a row. Now, Kelce has 3 championships and his legacy is cemented. With this immense fame, Kelce is being put under the microscope for every little thing that he does. For instance, his likes on Twitter and Instagram are being watched closely. Over the weekend, one person noticed that Kelce liked an IG post, so it was Instagram, not Twitter. From Sage Steele, a former anchor at ESPN. In this post, Steele spoke about getting to cover the UFC. Moreover, she put a picture of herself with Donald Trump front and center. Considering just how much people hate Trump, it should come as no surprise that some were livid with Kelce's social media activity. Swifties in particular were upset with Kelce. After all, his girlfriend has endorsed Joe Biden and other Democrats in the past. Whether or not Kelce actually meant anything by his like remains to be seen. What we do know, however, is that some are upset about the situation. It seems as though moving forward, Kelce will need to be more careful with his activity. Uh, so here are some reactions to somewhere on this page. Oh, I think it was here. So this area here is where it shows Sage Steele's original tweet. And it looks like it didn't embed on the page. I'm not sure whether
They
it
probably
was
deleted it.
removed. Yeah, they may have deleted it. I'm gonna yeah, it's not found. So I think they deleted it, which is unfortunate, but also part of the point of us talking about this. And so here were some of the reactions, right? So here's some of these reactions. He always gave Trumpy vibes, so I'm not surprised. I don't know what that means. Y'all's fave went from not gonna say that word to a MAGA man. What y'all realize, y'all fave also knows he's a MAGA rat, but doesn't care. I mean, are we really shocked? So these are just some of the many reactions to him merely liking something on Instagram. He didn't post anything. He didn't put words on anything. He just hit the heart button. And that sent some people in social media troll world into a bit of a tizzy. So unfortunately, we couldn't show the original tweet that he liked because I guess it was removed from this article. But y'all can do some grave digging and you'll be able to find that for yourself. Oh, you sent the link.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll let you go ahead and get started with
Yeah.
your thought on this reaction, and then I'll pull up the original tweet.
Yeah. So I feel like it's sad, but this is the life he living, man. When you're dealing with the cult of Swift, yeah, man, the members are gonna come out in their robes, in their red robes, yeah, and they're gonna investigate you, bruh. And I know that there's people out there that are following his every move ever since he came about because he's not going to ruin their Miss Swift, with his football MAGA looking ass. So yeah, so they're not having that garbage. So he's lost all privacy while he's with her. So he can throw that in the trash. So what you need to get is a trap phone, get a burner account, and live his life like that. but he can't be Travis Kelce unless he's being presidential from here on out. And this is with him, on the podcast with his brother. I'm pretty sure he can't be as bold. He can't tell those stories that he used to have back in college. Like he can't do any of that jazz. He's gonna have to fly narrow or on the straight and narrow as if he was married already. So for them to even be getting into his political business on just a post that was just liked, it's absurd. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
this is yeah. Go ahead.
this is the post that Kelsey liked. He didn't say anything. He just liked it. It's Sage Steele with Donald Trump at a UFC event, and it says after years of covering UFC at ESPN, I finally got to see it live and in person. Game changer. Thank you at Dana White for everything. Great people, great event, great fights. Check out the last video. It's the final minute of the main card fight. So intense. And she just posted a picture shaking Donald Trump's hand in the midst of posting that. And all Kelsey did was like it. And it stirred up all of that stuff from all of these other people. So there you go. That's the
Yeah.
context.
So again, this is very benign. There's nothing going on here. Somebody can read into that, but that's too hard, and that's too much going on. But again, when you're dealing with these cult people, you're just gonna have to be mindful. And I'm pretty sure a Swifty may have heard me just call them a cult member and got offended. But honestly, do yourself a favor and do you protect people that in your immediate family as hard as you protect this woman? I mean, are you scouring through your cousin's business because you don't want that scumbag to put his hands on her no more? Or is this only about this one woman that's being worshipped as if she was a deity herself? This is actually a sad state that we have going on with Miss Swift, Miss Minaj, Miss Cowgirl, Beyonce. There's too much of this going on where this celebrity worship has gotten way out of control to the point where a man can't even like a post from a woman who works in an industry that he's very closely tied to. I mean, what if he's just cool with Sage Steele? They're not considering that. They're considering his political stance and him trying to actually sway voters by liking posts. This is absolutely ridiculous, man. But what are your thoughts, man, on the cult of Swift getting upset that Trav liked the post featuring Donald Trump?
What did you say a couple minutes ago? You said he has to be something. You said presidential. He has to,
Yeah, he
in
has
order
to.
for him.
He has to act. Right now, he has to act as if he's married and move presidential.
Right.
Yeah, he has to do that.
So I would make an amendment to that.
Okay.
He can still do what he wants on social media and still be able to, retain the goodwill of the people on the internet if he likes content that is left or Democrat. So that's the thing about it. So my the
That's not what
issue
he
with
wants.
this isn't
That's
that
not what he wants.
he first of all, and you're you're 100% correct. He's not being political. He liked an Instagram post. You
Right.
don't know if he's friends. Sage still used to work at ESPN.
Right.
He plays for the Kansas City. He's a pro football player. He probably got interviewed by Sage Steele many times while Sage Steele worked at ESPN.
Right.
For all we know, they may have a cordial professional relationship.
Correct.
But you leapt to the conclusion that he's a MAGA rat because he's liking a post that has to do with something conservative / Republican. Now, obviously, it doesn't help matters that it involves Donald Trump, but trust and believe if this was somebody else who was on the right, it would garner the same kind of reaction.
Mhm.
Because, when it comes to the current social discourse in America, and we've talked about this before, being on the left is being a good guy, and being on the right is being a bad guy. So Sage Steele, despite her career achievement, despite by all intents and purposes, she's a reasonable person, a nice person, nice family, all of this good stuff. But because she likes to lean right and be conservative, she's a bad guy. So the thing with Travis Kelce that he's going to have to learn is there's only one side of the political spectrum that's accepted in public, and that's the left side. If you want to do anything political, it has to be left. And if it's not left, keep your mouth shut and mind your business. Because if you do anything right leaning, even if it's something as innocuous as liking an Instagram post, they'll want to rake you through the coals for it. Because that's just the environment that we have cultivated out here in this current society. Being left leaning, being hyper liberal, being Democrat supportive means you're fighting on the side of righteousness. These are the good guys. And being right leaning, being conservative, supporting anything that is even remotely Republican, it means you're fighting. It means you're an enemy of the state. You're
Mhm.
one of the bad guys. You're a problem. So, if you like a post that has to do with somebody who's on the left, we're not going to dig into your past or speculate about what you think about anything, your various ideologies, because that's acceptable. But the opposite of that, oh no, we're going to look into, you know, your past. We're going to look in your bank statements. We're going to look at your tax returns. We're going to see what the IRS said about you. We're going to dig into your social media past. We're going to look up your elementary school, your middle school. We're going to find all your high school teachers, your middle school teachers. We're going to see who babysat you while you was in daycare because you like something, because you're conservative. So it's like even if the person is a good person, it must be something bad about them because they're conservative. Ooh, conservatives, they're the bad guys. So we're gonna dig up everything we can about you so that we can expose the dirt that you must have in your closet because
Mhm.
you are conservative leaning, a traditionalist even. Take Donald Trump out of this because I think Donald Trump is a convenient way for people to feel like they're right in doing stuff like this. So even if you remove Donald Trump from this equation, and we're just looking at this dynamic play out for face value, this has nothing to do with Donald Trump to me. It's because he likes something he likes something from someone who is routinely associated with being on the right. And you can't be on the right and be in public. That means you're a bad person. So the thing is, if you want to be on the right, you're going to have to be quiet. And if you want to be able to speak loudly when it comes to how you feel about anything ideologically, politically, family values wise, socially, whatever, you better be liberal. You better be liberal. And if you want to associate yourself by even liking a post on social media without even saying a word, it better be a liberal post. It better be a post posted by somebody who's liberal. It better be that, because if it's not, you're going to deal with the backlash. So it's not fair. It's not right. It's very unreasonable. It's very dogmatic. It is extremely problematic, but it is nevertheless what the current wave of this country is in terms of how we consume, perceive, gather, talk about certain bits of information and stories. If it's left leaning, if it's liberal, it's good and okay. And if it's right leaning and conservative and traditionalist, it's bad and problematic. So one side clearly has won, and one side needs to just kind of disappear into the recesses and the shadows, never to be heard from again. So I don't think this is a big deal necessarily. I don't think it's something that Travis Kelce is going to you know, adversely be affected by, but it is nevertheless a microcosm with which to view how there is a dichotomy in the way that certain things are received, whether it's liberal or not. And basically, the defining factor is liberal is good, anything other is bad. So you got to be liberal if you want to talk, and if you want to be conservative, you just have to learn that you just can't talk. Doesn't make it right or fair, but it does make it the reality.
Yeah, and the cult aspect of it is the people that are evangelizing on behalf of that thinking, and they literally go around the internet bullying people into thinking like that. So this was nothing but a bullying tactic towards Travis Kelce or anybody who thinks like Travis Kelce to monitor their online behavior. And once we see the stuff that goes on with the left, they do often align themselves with celebrities, generally the entertainment market. So whether it's Taylor Swift with Biden or whether it's Jay Z with Obama, they rub elbows with these celebrities to galvanize uh, the cult following that each of these artists has, and it adds credence to their movement. And then what ends up happening is, because a person is a fan of that artist, or deeper than a fan, actually, even though the word fan means fanatic, they actually worship these people to a degree that they're not comfortable admitting. So once these people go out here and tell us to, then that's why they pay all of these celebrities to sell us car insurance and all these other things. And so, no different for with a political ideology. So Swift has firmly aligned herself with left and progressive thinking. So naturally, everybody that's under her biblical canons will be following her doctrines and bullying Travis for even thinking about doing such a thing. So yeah, this is the way of the world, and that's why I was looking at this from a cult like perspective, because this is what it is. This is what social engineering does to people, and this way that this is a way that they can evangelize, in the streets in a grassroots way. Last thing I'll say is, for the people who are, air quote liberal people or whatever or what have you, it's the same pump and dump that they do with every other group of minority people or whatever. And black people can strongly attest to that. We've been getting pumped and dumped in the polls for the last 60 years, believing in people giving us promises and reneging on them. So you just got to be mindful of the people that you claiming that aren't against you, and actually look at their work, the fruits of their labor. Are these fruits actually producing seeds for future generation, or are they GMO, lacking seeds at all? Damn, there's no seeds in this grape. I wonder what's going on here. Yeah, well, that means it's not good for you. So just think deeply, take a step back, and if there is a degree of celebrity worship that you may have, reconsider it, Swifties, and start thinking for yourselves and digging into these things. You might be surprised what you come out with. So
Yeah, I just I hear everything you're saying, and all of that is valid. But me, at the end of the day, I like balance. And my thing is, if we are going to be accepting of, you know, evangelist movements politically, then just let all evangelist movements politically have their day in court. And but what for real, like I don't like any of it
right,
personally, but my
right,
thing is I believe in balance. So
right,
just let everybody live. And what has become very apparent to me is the internet is ruled, controlled, by one side over the other, to the
agreed.
point where Travis Kelce likes a post from someone who's a conservative, and he might have to answer for that. Whereas if he, whereas if he were to like a post from someone who has been largely liberal, he wouldn't have to answer for anything.
That's true.
So either he should have to answer no matter what, or he shouldn't have to answer no matter what. But what we have going on is he's a MAGA rat, and he might have to answer for that. And he probably just likes Sage Steele as a person, as you said. That's probably all this is.
Yeah.
But this evangelism stuff has proliferated so much so that we're really only allowing one particular ideology to reign true, because we have just seemingly adopted the notion that that is the only ideology which is the correct one. So any deviation from that one exposes you for being problematic. And that to me is insanity. That is absolute insanity. But it is a part of the tapestry of America, which is completely and utterly engulfed in social anarchy, in my opinion. But it's just crazy to look at how this stuff works. I firmly believe that if this was Jay-Z, as you said, if this was Jay-Z, and Jay-Z don't be on social media, but hypothetically speaking, if Jay-Z posts a pic of him shaking Obama's hand at a UFC event and Travis Kelce hits the heart button, ain't nobody saying nothing.
No, no,
Ain't nobody saying nothing.
no.
Right. But why? Because Obama is a good guy and Trump is a bad guy, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
But it's more about the political, it's more about the political implications, because strip Obama and replace it with another left leaning person, and take away Donald Trump and replace him with a right-leaning person, you're going to get similar reactions,
Yeah, I agree.
which is the right-leaning person is the bad person and the left-leaning person is the good person.
Agreed.
And I don't understand how people can live with that being the status quo and sleep at night. But, clearly this is where we are with this stuff. So, like I said, I think fortunately this looks to be quiet enough that Travis Kelce isn't in fact going to have to answer for anything. But the fact that there were reactions that garnered enough of a viral response to me is problematic in and of itself.
Yep. Hey, man, that's the internet.
Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah.
internet.
Yeah. Internet control stuff, man, unfortunately.
Mhm.
The vocal minority is what I like to call it.
Hey, by the way, the conscious approach majorities. Why don't you guys hit the like and subscribe right on over here, man? Join the tribe, man. We out here balling.
Yeah, for sure.